Fascism and National Socialism, Nazism, emerged in the early 20th century as political movements that gained prominence in Italy and Germany, respectively. Both ideologies were responses to the social, economic, and political upheavals of the time, exploiting widespread discontent and seeking to establish authoritarian rule. Post-World War I turmoil. The aftermath of World War I created a volatile political and economic environment in Europe. The Treaty of Versailles imposed harsh conditions on defeated nations, particularly Germany, leading to economic hardships, territorial losses, and a sense of national humiliation. Italy, too, faced economic difficulties and perceived injustices in the peace settlement. Economic instability. The Great Depression of the 1930s exacerbated economic instability, unemployment, and social unrest. In both Italy and Germany, citizens were disillusioned with the democratic systems in place, viewing them as ineffective in addressing economic challenges and restoring national pride. Rise of authoritarian leaders. In Italy, Benito Mussolini founded the Fascist Party in 1919, capitalizing on the discontent with the post-war situation. Mussolini's March on Rome in 1922 led to his appointment as prime minister, marking the beginning of fascist rule. In Germany, Adolf Hitler rose to power through the Nazi Party, exploiting economic despair, anti-Semitic sentiments, and nationalist fervor.
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Authoritarianism and nationalism. Both fascism and National Socialism shared common themes such as authoritarianism, nationalism, and anti-communism. They rejected liberal democracy and individual freedoms in favor of strong, centralized government control. The leaders, Mussolini and Hitler, promoted a cult of personality, presenting themselves as charismatic figures capable of restoring order and national greatness. Totalitarian ideologies. Fascism and Nazism were totalitarian ideologies that sought to control all aspects of society. They used propaganda, censorship, and state-controlled media, especially radio, to shape public opinion. Both regimes suppressed political opposition, targeted minorities, and established secret police forces to maintain control. Urbanization and industrialization. First half of the 20th century was the perfect time for the rise of radical ideologies. At that time, cities were getting bigger and bigger. People from rural areas moved to larger agglomerations in a search of opportunities. Slow in that period in some European counties was detected a huge rise of the number of educated and literate people, so more and more people could afford themselves to read newspapers, listen to the radio, and because of the absence of alternative information sources such as internet or free and liberal mass media, it was easier for those centralized and authoritarian governments to brainwash their own people with the propaganda, so pushing more and more people into the war. Expansionist agendas. Both Fascist Italy and Nazi Germany pursued aggressive foreign policies seeking territorial expansion. Italy invaded Ethiopia in 1935, while Germany's expansionist ambitions led to the annexation of Austria, the Sudetenland, and eventually the invasion of Poland in 1939, triggering World War II. In conclusion, Fascism and National Socialism arose as responses to the socio-political challenges following World War I and the Great Depression. The movements exploited discontent, championed authoritarian rule, and promoted nationalistic ideologies that ultimately had devastating consequences for the world during the 20th century.